Hey everyone, this is Lily, and today I'm recording another video case study, this time for Vasumi, who has a really awesome blog on the Mayan Dream Spell calendar. So Vasumi's blog is actually a really nice one to check out all the time. I've been checking it out regularly since I found out about it, and it's kind of cool for those of us who are living on this end of the world, because Vasumi's in Bali, so I kind of feel like she's a little bit in the future, and the information she's writing I'm getting well in advance. So it's actually been really helpful and really nice being tuned in with her blog. So the first thing that I'm going to let you guys know is that Vasumi recently transferred her blog from wordpress.com to wordpress.org, and I had a good look at it with her when it was in wordpress.com, and it was formatted very nicely in there. It was very beautiful. So there are some little aesthetic things that need to be kind of modified, and I think Vasumi, you're probably onto that, but I'm going to run through them anyway, just because I think it'd be helpful for some people listening to this to learn a little bit about readability and usability with designs. So the text here, for example, it's a good font. I think it's Arial, which is one of the better ones to use on the net because it doesn't have the little tails, so it's easier to read on the screen. But it needs to be bigger. Definitely it's a little bit hard to read at the size that it is. And also add in some paragraph spacing here. I noticed before down on these posts you do actually have really good paragraph spacing, so I'm not entirely sure what happened to this particular one, but just making sure that you do have good paragraph spacing in here. It's going to be so much easier for people to read. I think the line height is fine, so it's more just creating that larger font. It's going to make a huge difference. Also, I mean, I don't know what happened to this blog post. So, I mean, this image is a good size. It's a really nice size. It's easy to read the text in here. It's easy to see all the symbols. One thing I would suggest is possibly moving it over to the right-hand side to justify it to the right, just because it tends to look a little bit nicer. It's kind of one of those things where justified to the right aesthetically looks better. Justifying it to the left actually draws our attention to the image, and Westerners read left to right. So it is a good way to get people just reading your article. It's one of those how your mind works kind of thing. So it really doesn't matter left or right, but personally I think they look better on the right because of this boxy text look here. So totally up to you. You can leave it there if you want. There's pros and cons. Pros and cons. What else can I say? These links are great. They stand out. They're blue. They've got a hover change, so they underlined. Very, very important with your links to actually have a state change. Oops. I don't know what I clicked on then. I think I accidentally clicked on one of them. So it's good that she actually has that, so people can understand and know that it's a link. So it's sort of basic usability, intuitive stuff there that I'm talking about. But yeah, just fixing up images and fixing up the styles, making the text bigger. There's double search boxes over here, so definitely getting rid of one of those. This subscribe to blog box here, let's work on changing that. Vasumi, I don't actually know what that is linking to, and we had a call the other day and I can't remember if we discussed actually what that particular thing was. You can keep in an email RSS subscription box, which I'll be talking about one week in a class about RSS versus email subscription. But what I would really replace this with is your newsletter sign up. So I know you're working with MailChimp now, so actually getting your MailChimp form in there and collecting people's first name and email address. And go and have a look at the blog video case study I did for Amy with Raw and Peace, and I talked a little bit about her MailChimp sign up box there, and how to make it stand out and what colors to use and why to use a first name, that kind of thing. So go and check that out. On the side here you also have recent posts. I think this is great to have, definitely. Maybe also work a little bit with the styles here, just to make it a little bit more easy to read and navigate. It's kind of all clumped up, and it's sort of difficult to see where one starts and one ends. Archives, yeah, you know, you've got a few posts for each month, so I think it's kind of good that you have archives. I mean, it's It's really up to you. I find the whole archives block in the right-hand sidebar often fairly unnecessary. So it's really up to you whether or not you want to keep that in there. When I'm looking through blogs myself, really I've never used it. It's been more of a sticky beak with competitors' blogs or blogs that I admire to see how often they're posting or need to post. So it's definitely not something you need in there. Categories. Categories are something, everyone, that is a really, really good thing to take note of, categories. And I might actually record a video sometime about how you actually work with categories in your blog and how you create them. So every time we write a blog post, we need to assign it a category. And it has to be assigned a category. You don't really have a you can't not assign a category. WordPress won't let you not assign one. So every single post that Vasumi is posting in here has a category associated with it. Now, something very generic like general isn't particularly awesome. Actually, these category names can definitely be improved a lot. And again, if you go and have a look in Amy's Raw and Peace video case study, I talked a little bit about how categories are very much linked into your Google search engine optimization. So actually using 3 to 5 keyword search strings in here that are some of the top search strings that you want to use in your entire blog. It's going to help you a lot with Google. Oh, okay, let's just close that. It's distracting. So, for example, you could have, oh, I don't know enough about mine stuff to really suggest. The raw food blog was a lot easier. Just, you know what I mean. So actually improving on these a lot with the search strings and bulking them out a little bit as well. If you only have 4 categories, that's totally cool. But categories really is going to be the main way that people navigate through your blog. And you know what the hilarious thing is? I'm not sure if I still have it, but I used to have this one category in my blog, boy meets girl. And the amount of men that would click on that was hilarious because I just wanted to see the gossip about me. It was really funny. So really working with this very main navigation system, and that's why it works so well with Google for searching, because it is one of the nav systems, and the nav systems are what Google seems to work within the algorithm. Okay, this is just an error that I'm sure you're working on to have a look at. I am, just I know you've changed it over, so I'm sure you're cleaning all this stuff up. Gosh, I'm super tempted to go in there and do it for you. It's one of those things, I have to hold back. I feel like I've have so many friends in this course that I want to do all your blogs for you. So recent comments, that's a great thing to have in there. It's a social proof thing. Again though, because your titles of your blog posts are quite complicated and quite long, it is looking a little bit difficult to sort of understand and read, and I'm a little bit overwhelmed with that block there, and I'm not going to click on anything. So really think about whether you want to keep that in, because it is just looking a little bit messy. Pages, you can definitely take this out because that is going to be in your top nav system anyway. So it's exactly the same as here. So you can take that one out. Having said that, for Google search engine optimization, it is good to have that in again. But instead of having it on the right-hand side, if you wanted to include this twice for Google, at the Google algorithm, I would put it in the footer. Twitter updates, cool, you're in a Twitter, awesome, good for you. You could keep this in. If you wanted to change it, Twitter has some really nice graphic. Well, since I last used Twitter on my blog, which is at least 2 years ago now, they had some little graphic-y, flashy kind of JavaScript-y things. I don't know what the programming was, but they were nice to look at. So you could definitely change the Twitter block there into using one of the graphical Twitter blocks. So do we have archives twice? Yes. So definitely working with the sidebar here, we've got archives twice. We can get rid of one of those and get rid of this block here too. We don't need to be working with this block at all. So removing that. So that's the sidebar there. Yeah, as long as you've got your email subscription with MailChimp at the top, that's one of the most important things. And I'll be having a whole class this Wednesday night, which is Thursday morning your time, talking about email lists and what to do with them. Okay, this navigation bar here is going to be much better underneath the banner, simply because up here it's a little bit hidden. So it's good to have it down here. Make the text bigger, make the text bold, even consider using a different font. It's good not to have more than 2 fonts. And it kind of looks like this font here might be different to this font. That's not Arial. So yeah, you could actually get away with having a completely different font in the nav system. I think it would be fine, but you got another one here. Just play around with it and see what it looks like, but definitely have the text bigger and bolder. And you've got your text change on the mouse over. That's great. So in the 13 Moon Journal, this is your physical product here that you're selling. It's good you've got comments open here so people can ask you questions directly there, which is really nice. I would definitely have a buy button in here instead of this little tiny link here. So where does this link go? As you guys can probably tell, I've barely looked at this blog before I started this video, so you're definitely getting a live case study. Okay, it's going to Etsy, which is okay. Wow, that's a really beautiful cover there. I really like it a lot. So I would make this buy link a lot more obvious for starters. I would open it in a new window. The general rule is any internal links that you have within your blog or website, you want to not open them in a new window because that would just be very annoying. But when you're having links that link to another website, you want to force open it in a new tab or a new window, just so that people don't forget about your site and your blog. So if I go here and I'm in Etsy and I buy that, and then after I bought it, I'm kind of thinking about it, and then I get distracted, I, go and do whatever, go outside, whatever, I don't know, you just do something, and you just forget that you were looking at this amazing timewaves.org blog because it's not up there on your computer anymore. So it's good to keep the window open for people to sort of go back and remember. They sit down in front of their computer again, like, oh, that's right, I was looking through this really amazing blog. So yeah, that's what I can definitely say about that, is having a different option. Etsy, let's have a little look at that again. How easy it is to buy from here. Okay, yeah, it's fairly easy. I know Etsy is a really big kind of online shopping thing. I've actually never used it, but I know a lot of people that have, and yeah, cool. I mean, that's totally cool to do that. Totally cool. Have it in there. So, about section. Yeah, Vasumi, you don't have your photo in here, and you're beautiful. I think you need to have your photo in here. I've met you in person as well, so I know that you are very beautiful. You don't have to have it in. I really like this banner, by the way. I think it's awesome. You don't have to have your picture in there, but definitely at least have it in your about page. I want to know what you look like, especially if I'm getting a session with you. There's just something about me being able to see your picture and see what you look like that is going to make me feel a lot more comfortable about booking in a session with you. So definitely put your photo in here. And what's this linking to? Okay, we have 2 about pages, looks like. Now I'm getting confused. Okay, all right, that's a broken link. So I'm assuming with the transfer over from WordPress, let me see what link that was again. Nope, still timewaves.org. So I'm assuming the transfer from wordpress.com to wordpress.org has kind of created quite a few broken links. So we want to go in here and we just want to check. See this, for example, link here I can see just from, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it, but on the bottom of the screen, there's a URL popping up, so I can actually see where this is going to link to on the bottom left-hand side of my screen. That link there is going to be broken. Yeah, so you really need to go through all of these links, unfortunately, and just check that they're actually still not broken. Okay, good, you're opening, awesome, you're opening in a new window for a blog or a website, sorry, that's not yours, awesome. Okay, but I mean, the picture's great. You got information about you in there too. You could bulk it out a little bit, but apart from that, awesome, awesome.